Today, we are going to get to the heart of a concept that honestly separates the hotels that thrive from the ones that just survive. We're talking about the real cost of running your business, and it all comes down to two little words: fixed and variable.
You've seen it, right? It's a question that probably keeps a lot of us up at night. You've got two hotels, pretty similar on the surface, but when a slow season hits, one of them seems to just sail through it, while the other one is in a total financial nosedive. What's the difference? Well, it's not just about who's making more money. The real answer is buried deep inside their cost structure.
So, to really understand that resilience, we have to split our costs into two big buckets. And look, this isn't just boring accounting stuff. This is the actual strategic blueprint for staying in the game.
All right, so on one side, you've got your fixed costs. You can think of these as the constant, steady heartbeat of your hotel. They're the same day in and day out, whether you've got one guest checked in or you're completely sold out. Then, on the other side, you have your variable costs. These are the complete opposite. They're totally dynamic and they go up and down right alongside your occupancy. Just think about how relentless these fixed costs are. Your property tax bill, the salaries for your management team, your insurance premiums. These things show up like clockwork every single month, and they could not care less how many rooms you sold. This is the financial bedrock you're built on. And this right here is what really gets to the core of the pressure. I mean, even if you had to shut the doors for a week and not a single guest came in, these costs are still there, just ticking away in the background. It's this financial weight you have to lift every single month before you can even think about making a profit.
Now, contrast that with your variable costs. These are linked directly to your guests. You only pay for the extra housekeeping hours for rooms that were actually occupied. You only restock the little soaps and shampoos when a room gets used. And you only pay commission to an OTA when they actually send you a booking. It's simple. More guests, more costs. Fewer guests, well, fewer costs. But, in the real world of hotel operations, things aren't always so perfectly black and white, are they? Some of your expenses don't really fit neatly into either one of those boxes.
And that's where we run into what we call mixed or semi-variable costs. Basically, they're a hybrid. They have a base component that's fixed, and then another part that goes up and down with your business. And if you ignore these, you can seriously throw your whole budget way off track. Your utility bill is the perfect example, right? There's a fixed amount you have to pay every month just to keep the lights on in the lobby and run the essential systems. That's your fixed piece. But then there's the variable piece on top of that, all the extra electricity and water your guests use in their rooms. That part, of course, rises and falls with your occupancy.
Okay, so we've got fixed, we've got variable, we've got mixed. Why does separating them all out matter so much? Well, because this knowledge isn't just for your accountant. It's a seriously powerful tool that should be driving some of your most important decisions every single day. First up is your break-even point. Once you truly understand your fixed costs, you can figure out the exact number of rooms you need to sell just to pay the bills. This is your survival number. It's the absolute bare minimum target your team has to hit every month. Here's a great way to picture it. Your revenue, that bar on the left, has to grow tall enough to first climb over that huge, solid block of fixed costs. Then, it has to cover the smaller variable costs for every room you sold. It's only after your revenue clears that entire cost bar that you're actually in the profit zone. Knowing all this also completely changes the game for your forecasting. You can lock in your fixed costs, the non-negotiables, and then you can build a really accurate model for your variable costs based on how busy you expect to be. This turns your budget from a bit of a hopeful guess into a genuinely reliable financial roadmap. And maybe this is the most important one. It lets you price your rooms with real confidence. When you know the exact variable cost of servicing a room, plus that room's little slice of the fixed cost pie, you know your absolute floor. You can make smart, strategic pricing moves without ever worrying that you're accidentally selling a room for less than it actually costs you. So let's zoom out for a second, because this thinking goes way beyond just daily operations. It scales right up to your long-term strategy. The way your costs are structured really defines your entire business model, your level of risk, and how nimble you can be. Just look at the difference here. An owner-operator who owns the building, they are asset-heavy. They're carrying massive fixed costs like a mortgage, property taxes, the works. But a franchisee who is asset-light, they have a much, much lower fixed cost burden. And that single difference explains why they have completely different appetites for risk.
And check this out. This is a brilliant strategic move. Let's say you outsource housekeeping. You just transformed a huge fixed cost, all of those salaries for your in-house team, into a variable cost that you only pay on a per-room cleaned basis. Now, your cost for each room might go up a little, but your huge fixed cost base just dropped. That gives you incredible flexibility to scale down when things get slow. And really, this is what it all boils down to. Getting a handle on fixed versus variable costs isn't just some textbook exercise. It's real operational power. It's what lets you plan smarter, price better, and ultimately build a hotel business that's not just profitable, but resilient. So, I'll leave you with this question. Go look at your own P&L through this lens. Which costs are truly fixed? Which are variable? And now that you have the blueprint, what's the very first cost you're going to get under control?